Good evening, everybody. This is Betsy Wurzel, host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionable Talk Radio. It is Saturday night, April 18th. It is a special day today. It is my guest, Marcia Burr's birthday. We're going to remember it is Gaydonna's birthday, who was Marcia's wife. And it is also Marcia and Gaydonna's anniversary today. So I want to welcome my friend, my first mentor in Dementia Land, Marcia Burr. Welcome, Marcia. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Betsy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. I really am. Part of me, it's like, wow, I can't believe it's been 4 years since Gaydonna died. 4 years and 2 days. And, you know, this time of year I always do a lot of thinking about like April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Because it was, the 16th is when Gaydonna died, and then 17th I was in the hospital, and then the 18th is our birthday. And boy, I look back on that, and it was exhausting. But I also look back and think, man, actually, that birthday, his first birthday after Gaydonna died, spent in the hospital, was probably one of the nicest birthdays I can recall. Somebody sent me an anonymous cake. To this day, I don't know who sent it to me. And friends came by and brought me homemade Italian food, you know, with Gaydonna in mind. It was really good. They fed me. We took photos. We laughed. We remembered Gaydonna, because here's the thing about Gaydonna. Wherever she went, she had this energy that just made you smile and want to talk to her, and you were kind of interested. But at the same time that she held that energy, she also had this side that, like, she didn't let people in. It was weird. It really was. And, like, it took me a while to, I mean, I understood that, but it took me some time to really get it. And one of the things I recall where that really came home to me was after my mom died, I went right back into x-ray school. I had to take a year off from x-ray school, and I was driving up and down the state of Florida checking in on my mom, because the thing is, she couldn't be at her home alone and have hospice care. So we got somebody that stayed with her like 4 nights a week, and I was down there like 3. And then I'd have to drive back up to Williston because I have animals and stuff. And that's when Gaydonna moved in. I had met her before that, but that's when she moved in. And we decided after my mom died that we were going to open a business together called Clicks Photo. And we did. And it was North Florida's only darkroom rental where you could go and bring your black and white film and develop it in the darkroom and then make prints from it. And we also taught classes how to do all this stuff. And it was very cool. But in preparation to do that, we had to dust off our own photography skills, because we both of us have loved photography our entire lives. I mean, it kind of makes sense. We were both x-ray techs too, right? So We decided we were going out. Gaydonna was going to go out to the Rocky Mountain School of Photography while I finished up my last term of x-ray school, because I went right back to school and finished my last year after my mom died, kept the promise. And, God, I remember the day she was ready to leave, but I was still in Williston because I had to finish school. But she was going ahead and going. And she drove across country with a friend of hers. And she stood at the door, at the front door, and looked at me and cried and said, "Please don't make me go." And I was floored. I didn't know what to say almost. But at this point, everything was paid for. You know, we had an apartment for 3 months in Missoula, Montana. We had all these plans and things already done. It was in motion, and we couldn't stop it without just throwing a whole lot of money away, you know. But I didn't realize how strongly that affected her and how badly she suffered from social phobia. No one would ever know that about her. And then when she had Alzheimer's, it played in so well because she was already so good at faking it with people that people didn't get it. They didn't realize. So I think about things like that over these, 3 days period here. And today it's my birthday. I didn't do much of anything except take care of myself. I had a nice bubble bath. I had to go get my phone because I left it somewhere. And I've just been laying low and thinking about promises today. That's what I've been doing. How about you, Betsy?
Yes, I am laying low. I'm really trying not to get out of the house. And I promised myself, Marcia, that after caregiving, I was going to take care of myself, focus on myself.
For you.
And that's what I'm doing. You'd be proud of me.
I am proud of you. I'm very proud.
Thank you. I want to say that in honor of Gaydonna and your anniversary birthdays, in honor of Gaydonna's passing, you two taught me about the happy place. And I will always be grateful for the two of you for that. Even though I didn't believe it at first and I had to learn it for myself, you were the one who started talking about, yes, you can have a happy place in Dementia Land. And I want to thank you and Gaydonna for that very much.
Well, that makes me smile, and it makes Gaydonna smile, too. I just feel it. Because that's what it's about. And that's, back to what I was saying, I've been thinking about promises a lot today. And I promised her, as she lay dying, the last 3 days of her life, we were in hospice care at a beautiful place down the road. She wasn't at home because she had bad physical pain at the end, and I just didn't have the means to control it at home. And finally, hospice did get her, feeling comfortable and not crying all the time. And it took hospice to do that, and we were denied hospice 2 weeks earlier. It's really weird. But we spent that last 3 days, the last few days there, and it was very peaceful. And there really was no room save for love. It's just, that's what it comes down to. And people don't believe it. It's so simple, Betsy. People don't believe it. Some people thought I was daft. And maybe some days I still am. But anyway, it's fine madness. And we decided, you know what? That's what it's about. All of life, everything we do together, what's important is our connection. And we're all just little pieces of wire. And we all transmit energy, but the thing is we get to choose what we want to transmit. And the thing is, our thoughts are like our reflections, kind of what we send out. Our emotions, our feelings, are what we attract. And we learn that as dementia care partners because we have to learn to control those. Because that's the energy that our loved ones pick up on us. So if we're feeling stressed and angry and impatient, guess what? Guess what we're attracting right back to us? That
Absolutely.
Energy. And so we learn how to roll past that, I think, as dementia care partners. And it's such a big, huge life lesson. it really changed me at a core level. And I look at this today, here, 4 years since all of those things happened. The hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, but I'm here, and I'm okay. I'm okay. Life goes on. It finds a way. It's stubborn, and love is stubborn. And love is not just love; it's all the other stuff too, and it's a promise. And there's so many corollaries that I see right now in the world with coronavirus and the things that we have to practice as human beings living together now safely that we've had to do forever as dementia care partners. I know care partners that have to deal with their loved ones who had C. diff, which is horrendously contagious. You have to completely gown out like you're going into an operating room with gloves and a gown and masks and everything. And then when you get rid of that stuff before you leave the room and have a place where you throw it away because it's really contagious. And this virus is very contagious. And the thing about it is that we just don't know how it's going to affect people. And so, me personally, I really don't feel like rolling the dice for myself, number one. I don't want it. I think it would probably kill me. I'm 62. I turned 62 today. I survived a heart attack. I smoked cigarettes. And so it would probably do me in. But I don't want it. But at the same time, I have to go, all right, well, I have to go shopping still. And it's real easy. It's like, okay, what did I have to do when, Gaydonna had a bad UTI or, dealing with C. diff, and I had to be sterile and keep things clean and neat. I had to pay attention to my surroundings. Well, that's what we need to do today in the world. And we can do all that stuff. Hopefully we have to do this, and we will do it, a promise to the world and to everyone together, that we will do this, that we will respect space and be mindful. And I think that is probably the biggest lesson that all of us can pull out of this whole pandemic stuff right now. Yes, it's been a game changer, and it's affected some people really horridly. I know caregivers that have to visit through glass, and others who have died, who have it. And it's not. I don't want to mess with it. I don't feel like rolling the dice. I don't know if I'm just a blind carrier that other people can get it from, or if I would catch it and it would kill me. I don't know. And it's not something I care to find out. So I'm just going to do what all of us need to do right now. Stay home and be mindful and think about, the good things we can all get out of this time that we have to think about things.
That's right. Marcia, you and Gaydonna, you brought it to my attention, the energy, because it never dawned on me before I met you that if I was anxious, Matt felt anxious. And I didn't make that connection until you started talking about that. And then I became more aware of my energy and how, Matt was feeding off of that. So I have to thank you for that also, because you taught me a lot. And, the caregivers are the ones who teach caregivers. And my heart goes out to all of the caregivers who cannot see their loved ones.
Me too.
My heart goes out to ones that are.
My heart, I carry that. I feel that pain. And I just want everyone to know that my best thoughts out to everybody. I really mean that. And let's just hunker down together and hold each other close, far apart right now. We don't have to touch physically. We can do this thing and still not miss out. There's so many amazing, creative ideas floating around right now. As a matter of fact, you know what's happening right this minute, which I think is kind of cool? Lady Gaga is doing this whole live stream World Health Organization concert thing right now. And so that's one of the cool ripples that have come out of all this coronavirus, too, is people have gotten very creative about how to share and be. And in some ways, I feel like we've all come together a little bit more because we're not so caught up in the distraction of all of the illusions, the detailed fluff and guff that doesn't matter. It's like, wait a minute, you know, we can make it be really however we want it to be with our energy. Because it's real, baby. Thoughts really do become things, and
that's
we have
true.
free will. And I've been saying that so long that people get sick of hearing it. So, I mean, I talk about that same idea a lot in stories that I tell or in videos that I make. That's what I've been doing a lot right now, staying home. But, I mean, I do that anyway. I've made, oh, my gosh, I was counting the other day since I started my own personal, I call it a 45-day COVID challenge, and it's a promise I made to myself and to the world that I was going to do this thing. I was going to practice social distancing and doing all of this. And who knows, it might end up being more like the 60-day COVID challenge. I don't know. I'm still in the 45-day period, and I take it a day at a time as it comes. But, you know, I forgot where I was going with this now. Oh, I know where I was going. I have made probably about 12 or 13 videos just about being dementia care partners and this coronavirus stuff. It's amazing. The songs I have heard that people have taken and changed. I heard a version of the Beatles song, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Go on and wash your hands. You know, I've heard some really cute things. And I've found some really good songs that, you know, my thing, what I like to do is pick songs maybe not, people don't always hear, but they have heard, and maybe they haven't heard. I like to do that and put them to photographs that people send me, and it tells a completely different story when you consider it in, like, from the perspective of being a dementia care partner. And sometimes images and music, they tell stories words can't. And that's part of the reason both Gaydonna and I loved photography, and we both loved music. And I made one video recently to I think it was a Bruce Springsteen song.
Yes.
You should appreciate
I saw that one.
because he's the boss, the New Jersey boss, you know, and it's called Cover Me. And so I asked everybody, and I still have photos left over, so I'll be making more videos. I've just been busy these past few days running around, retrieving my telephone a lot. Gee, craziness. Anyway, this one woman that I was never friends with, I don't know her, she posts, she's a nurse, I think, and she's posting some story, and she had this face mask on, and you couldn't really see what was on it, like really little tiny prints of stuff, and then, like, you got closer and closer, then you could sort of make out what it was, and it was a bunch of little penises on this face mask. And her quip about this was that if you're close enough that you can see those on my mask and make a comment about them, please back up. Back up. You're too close. Get away from me. And I thought it was hilarious. So I sent her a message, and I said, you know, I make videos and stuff, and I'd love to use that photograph. And so she let me use it. And so that's in a video I made called Cover Me. And it's all of us, mostly it's care partners I know that have sent photos and let me use photos of them what they're doing, how they're covering, through
That's
this
a great video.
COVID thing. So that's what I've been doing a lot during the virus. And oddly enough, beyond that, if I don't have to go out, I don't. The way I shop has changed. I think I did a big, restock my pantry before this really got going. And I'm still living on that, man. I still have toilet paper that I've had before this, Oh, my God. Because there's still no toilet paper in Williston where I live. It's funny. There has been some in Gainesville I've seen. But Williston is behind the curve on this. We're a little small town in a pretty big county that is filled with 3 traffic light towns. You blink and you miss them. You just go right through them. And there's tens of thousands of people who live out in the woods. And now where I live in Levy County, as of today, there's 11 cases. Now, just yesterday there was 9. The day before that there was 8, 7, and, so we haven't even hit our peak yet on this thing. So I urge all of you, stay home. Do me a favor. Do Gaydonna a favor. Do the world a favor, yourself a favor. Stay home.
That's right. Up where I live, we haven't reached our peak either, and the numbers change now. The mayor, we get a robocall from the mayor every day. Last night there was 55 cases reported. So it changes daily, the numbers.
Wow, that's a lot. There's more than that in Gainesville, where I have to go for one of my essential jobs. This gentleman that I help out, a friend of mine, has Parkinson's, and he lives alone. He's in his 70s. And so he needs help with his meds, and he can't drive, so I have to take him to the store. In Gainesville, I think there's 180-something cases. I know there's a lot more, but it kind of makes sense because it's a college town. But college ain't out. Hey, man, school's out for summer. It's out.
Yes.
I'm telling you. And but we're very careful. I brought him a bandana. I was looking for Epsom salts for some reason, and I have a box of masks that I had left over as caregiving supplies and some gloves. And so I'll have to go to the store with him tomorrow, and so we won't have to wear our bandanas tomorrow. We can wear real disposable little face masks and gloves, and then, of course, we'll throw them away properly instead of, like I've seen people do, throw them in the parking lot. And I'm like, I haven't actually seen a person do that. If I had, I would probably have to say something. Just go and ask them a question. I'd probably just say, hey, let me ask you something. Why did you even bother wearing that stuff if now you're just throwing it down on the ground for it to just sit there all germy anyway? Why bother? But
yeah.
Anyway, it's funny to me how people just sometimes they just become aware. We have incredibly short memory, and part of me says, I hope that we have a long enough attention span, people, to hunker down and, for like myself, keep my 45-day COVID promise, extend it if I have to, and be safe. Just start paying attention. Wake up, world.
That's right. That's right. The world is slowly waking up, Marcia, to the social isolation that caregivers have been facing for years.
Yeah, it really becomes a way of life as a dementia care partner. Gaydonna, first of all, Gaydonna and I, we lived in Williston, and Gaydonna's brother, and when her mom and dad were still alive, brother, they lived way out in Hawthorne, which is like an hour away from us. And Betty, her sister, lived about a half hour away in Gainesville, and so they weren't around us. But slowly they moved, into Williston. It's the weirdest thing, but wherever Gaydonna moved, the whole family moved with her, followed, all the way from Ohio, and Michigan down to Florida. It's just how it's always been. And they still live around here. But I forgot where I was going with all that. Doesn't really matter. I just want everybody to be safe, and I really want to say, golly, thank you, all of you, care partners who understand this stuff, because we've had to already learn it, and it's like, we're getting through like what we need to do to be safe fairly easily, except for my friends that they wonder if they're ever going to kiss their loved one again, because they're behind a pane of glass. And there's other homes, places where, my God, like what, how many people tested positive, the whole place? And then, people found dead and closed down and then cleaned up and reopened because they need beds. Come on, this thing's here, it's real. And it's not going to really go away until we start keeping our promises.
That's right. I find it's really sad that the mayor has to constantly, every day, tell people to throw their gloves and mask in the trash and not on the ground.
I don't get that. I really don't. I mean, I have a little trash bag in my car. I put stuff in there, and then I take that whole trash bag, tie it up, and throw it in my trash can. No, it's not hard. It's not rocket science.
That's right. That's right. And, it must be very frustrating, I'm sure, for the caregivers at home who have a loved one that would like to go out and they can't, and they can't reason with them.
Oh, my God. Yes. But again,
they haven't,
but we've had practice, haven't we? I mean, even before the virus, weren't there days, and like there's a time period I call like going through that whole journey with Gaydonna. I mean, our first year was really like, well, for me, it was the year of denial. And the second year and third and probably part of the fourth year was even what I call the terrible twos. And that's because you got to remember, our loved ones with dementia, they're going through their own grief process. And anger is part of that. I mean, listen, if I woke up, or I was slowly realizing that I can't do things I've done my whole life, and especially somebody like me and Gaydonna, who's independent-minded, doesn't like to be told what to do, likes to be kind of left alone, to be creative and think and enjoy things and take photographs and run $1 million X-ray equipment and do all these other things with computers, and then you wake up and you can't do that. You can't even remember how to pick up a phone. Wouldn't you be angry? I would be.
Yes.
And that, while Gaydonna was going through that, what I was going through? It's really selfish, but I had a total flip. I was like, God, if that was me, just shoot me. I swear, Betsy. I would say
and depression.
And it took a friend of mine, took me aside one day and said, folds her arms, with the biker chick, she folds her arms, looks at me, shakes her head, and she goes, Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. It's not always about Marcia. And, ooh, that pissed me off. But I went home and thought about it, and she was absolutely right. And I had a shift. But then what happened in our journey is that we shifted kind of out of the terrible twos for Gaydonna, and me having some weird pity pot, I don't know what that was, thing. Maybe it was a form of bargaining. I don't know. Anyway, we jumped right to acceptance. But that got really depressing because we were just like waking up every day waiting to die, waiting to die, waiting to die. And it's like we forgot how to live. And so from that point, I mean, I snapped from acceptance back to anger, which is like the second phase of grief, if there's any linear logical order to this grief process anyway. But I jumped to anger. and I was pissed. And I came home, and I told Gaydonna that I was pissed off about Alzheimer's, and I was going to do something about it. And she looked at me, and she felt my energy. And she knew I meant it. And things shifted after that because we decided we were going to go live. We were going to go hang out in the happy place. We're all going to die anyway. Forget that noise. Let's go live. And so we did.
Absolutely.
So then that's when I changed my wall to public. I started telling my story and Gaydonna's story. And eventually I met a bunch of people, core people I'm still connected to. They're part of my tribe. You're part of my tribe. I started making videos about dementia. I'd been making them before about other things, like gay pride and just ones for my family and things like that. But then I started making them about dementia, and I have this whole PlayStation called Marcia's Dementiaville Highway on YouTube, and it's a public playlist on my channel. And do you know that I've made 114 videos that are all about the Dementiaville journey?
Yeah, you've been doing this ever since I've known you.
That's a lot of hours of music, you know? That's a lot of hours of music. And I can't make all these videos without other care partners sharing their stories with me and letting me use the photographs that they send me. I mean, it's like all of us are figuring out how we're putting a face to this. We're making it human. It's not just this weird thing that Grandpa got and he's senile now. No, this is real. These are our lives. Look, listen, feel it, understand, grow.
That's right.
So
your
videos
are very touching.
Well,
thank
they're
you.
healing for me to make. You know, it's a Zen kind of thing for me to do too. And honestly, Betsy, they just kind of come to me. I swear sometimes I feel like Gaydonna's telling me, like, make this one, or here's a song, or, you know, it's real weird sometimes when I go through the whole process of it. But it's a healing thing for me, and I like doing it because it really plugs into my love of photography. I mean, I love photography.
Well, thank you for making them, Marcia.
Well, thank you, everybody, for letting me use photos so I can make them. Thank you for enjoying them, because that's a promise I made Gaydonna, that I would tell our stories and that the people, you know, the world would start waking up and understanding this, that, hey, you too can go hang out in the happy place, man. Pretty fun.
That's right.
So it
That's
makes me
right.
smile today, 4 years later, you know, thinking about promises I've made in my life, promises I've broken, things I've learned on the way of keeping promises. Like maybe I didn't do them the best way I could, and I, you know, got better. Promises others have kept to me. And I'm really grateful for all of that today. And I want all my care partner friends to know how proud I am of all of you. And thank you, because we do this together. We're not alone in this. And I think that's the lesson that the whole rest of the world is just now starting to wake up to. And we've had lots of practice. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, Marcia. I enjoyed having you on. And if somebody wants to get in touch with you, they could go on your Facebook page.
Yeah, sure. And I also have on my Facebook wall is just Marcia Burr, and it's a picture of Rosie the Riveter turned purple with a face mask on, or no, holding a can of aerosol, I think, so you can't see the face mask. But anyway, I also have a page on Facebook, which is about the local life raft group that I started here, which is also a promise that I made to Gaydonna that I've kept. And it's just a local support group for dementia care partners. And we're not meeting right now, of course, because of the virus, but we have Facebook, our own little personal Facebook group, but there's a page. I made a page called The Voyages of the USS Life Raft. And it's just kind of a journal of the things that we've done in our own community that we found successful, that help share knowledge and a sense of support and camaraderie. And so it's just kind of a local journal of what we do here in Williston, Florida.
And what is the name of your YouTube channel again, Marcia? Because I want to encourage everyone who's listening to this to get on YouTube and watch it, because your life will be touched.
Okay. Well, I have my own YouTube channel, which is just Marcia Burr. But in my channel, I have these different playlists. So you can type in, if you go to YouTube and just type in Marcia's Dementiaville Highway, you will tap into the playlist of the 114 songs I've made into videos that tell the stories and put faces to dementia care partners and how we live.
Thank you, Marcia. And I want to encourage all the listeners, please check out these videos. They are heart-touching. You will smile. You might laugh. You'll maybe shed a tear because it will touch your heart. It's keeping people's memories alive. And I just enjoy your videos. I never even heard of that Bruce Springsteen song that was your last video. I said, I never heard of that. I'm a Jersey girl. But
good old boss. He nailed it.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy always having you as a guest. You're welcome anytime, Marcia. Thank you so much for all that you do, bringing awareness. Thank you for keeping your promise to Gaydonna, and I want to thank Gaydonna for touching my life as well, in honor of Gaydonna. And can you pronounce Gaydonna's last name? Because I might mess it up.
Her whole name is, she was born Gaydonna Nicholas Kizo, very Italian, Sicilian. She married a guy named Fred Dandona, so she became Gaydonna Dandona. And you just can't make this stuff up. She was a DJ up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and she used her name as like her sign-in thing, Gaydonna Dandona, and she used to do like commercials for the local pizza place that were sort of like Rosanna commercials. It was the same time period. Gaydonna
really
Dandona,
cool.
Wanda Bella. My Italian love, what she is.
Well, thank you, Marcia. I really appreciate you coming on. You're welcome to come back anytime. This is Betsy Wurzel, host of Chatting with Betsy on Passion World Talk Radio. Jeanne White is a producer and writes beautiful blogs. Please read the blog. It has a lot of information that will help you as to how to get in touch with Marcia, about her support group, has about my support group, hashtag Kick Alzheimer's Ass Movement, the Camp Store. Please read the blog. I want to thank Lillian Caldwell for this radio station. And I want to thank everyone out there who is out there on the front lines helping and serving others. We can't thank you enough. And please be safe, everybody. Stay home. Use your safety precautions. Do the social 6 feet apart, please. And until I talk to you again, stay safe and be well. Thanks again. Bye-bye.